we are going to make a tier list video judging the difficulty of all of the Night Lord bosses in Elden Ring's NightReign. This will be really quick, okay? Down the line, first up, we have Gladius, the Cerebrus dog. Now, I got to play in the network test, and this fight was exceptionally easy in trios during the network test. When I booted up NightReign, and I was like, you know what? We had so many W's on this guy during the network test. This is going to be easy. This is going to be so easy, right? They tuned him up. I feel like I've gotten much better at this fight, although I could really improve. That being said, I think he is he's actually a well-balanced boss when he's put together. When there's 3 of them and I can't, and they're all surrounded, it feels like a gank fight. It seems a little unbalanced when you're playing solos. In trios, super manageable, okay? The aggro switches and everything, super manageable. In solos, when you have 3v1 and they're coming at you from all angles, it feels like a dodging simulator. Not a really big fan of that because you don't find a whole lot of openings. For that, I would recommend probably just sticking with rolling and then maybe shooting a bow and arrow, at least at one of the targets. Playing a little bit of distance. It's not a really sleek and sexy fight when it's 3v1 like that. I would say a fairly difficult fight, but not impossible at all. In solos, definitely not in trios. I wish I knew more about how the weaknesses apply to the bosses and when to actually hit them with, like, let's say a holy attack will maybe like interrupt one of their sequences or something. That kind of stuff's really not clear when it comes to the weaknesses of the bosses. And because of that, I think he's still a well-balanced fight. He's not super difficult, very manageable, both trios and solos. And for that reason, I'll put you right in the middle. A B sounds fair to me. He could still clap the most experienced players. He can. Especially when it goes 3v1. It can overwhelm you, right? And I know that's supposed to just be a part of like FromSoft difficulty. That's just the way it works, right? So, terms of difficulty. Okay, so we're just judging this based off difficulty. The design is pretty cool, right? It's a little, like the grab attacks from the mouth are a little unintuitive because he has some attacks that look like the grab, like the command grab, and that actually aren't. They just come in and hit you. Like, so a lot of the attacks that look exactly the same, but they do different things, that part sucks. All right, it makes it, the design seems very unintuitive. He's very floppy, but his health pool is kind of squishy. He's really not that bad. Poison him, and it should be GG's. Gaping Jaw is really not that bad. I think we soloed him last night, first try, or maybe second try. I can't remember. I think it was first try last night. And let me tell you, playing solo against this guy is way easier than playing trios. Because the aggro switch, you don't have to worry about it. You can telegraph your dodges so much better. But when he insta-switches in trios, mid-attack, and comes for you, and then, like, he grabs you, and then he one-shots you, basically, because it's the grab attack, that kind of sucks. It feels way more difficult in trios than it does in solos. And I can't say that for a lot of bosses here. But because he was so easy in trios, cool design, cool boss music too, and I love the purple lightning and all that stuff, but we're going based off difficulty. He's really not that bad. Super manageable. I'm going to give you a C. Up next, we have Sentient Pest. In my opinion, probably one of the most annoying boss fights. You're trying to attack the bug on the ground. You're a melee user. You have no long-range equipment to fight the butterfly, right? Which sucks. Maybe you just got, you got bad RNG drops, or the bows and stuff you came across. The long-range weaponry you came across just had very bad passive effects. And turning down, accepting a bad passive effect can ruin your build, right? Even if it's just one. So why would I pick up this bow that has, like, a really crappy passive effect on it and to trade off for something else that gives me, like, damage negation after getting hit or something like that. But the bow, I'm not picking up the bow. It's the only bow I found, and I'm using Wilder, okay? It doesn't make sense, right? So RNG dependent to even do damage to the butterfly. So your primary focus is to fight the bug, right? The scorpion. So I'm going to sit here. I'm going to try and telegraph my dodges. And by the way, I soloed him first try last night. First try. Solos, He was difficult. I was down to like my last flask. I had no health left, but we soloed him first try. No deaths, no winding graces, nothing, right? So but I'm trying to speak from like, I think that like the casual, non-experienced Souls player is, right? I'm not just trying to speak for myself, but I can see the difficulty behind him. I can also see where he can be easy. Now, when the Scorpion goes into the stone phase, when he likes to calcify or whatever it is, I do like the fact that you can still status proc him with like poison or rot or something like that. That still makes that's still kind of cool, and you can use him for cover. But when I don't have long-range weaponry and I got a fucking butterfly, excuse my language, shooting projectiles at me that I can't see because I'm locked onto this target, right? And it's interrupting my attacks, and damaging me, and then I have to take a flask, which is interrupting my attacks again. And then the Scorpion wants to do the side stomp or something like that. It's a problem, man. It's a problem, especially in solos. And that's not even like difficulty. That, in my opinion, that's like artificial difficulty. Right? Let me do this one thing over here that you can't see for the sake of doing it, interrupting every move that you want to try and do. It feels very... It feels like Souls jank, but it's not, you know? I understand the concept behind it, but I feel like once maybe the Scorpion calcifies, you should have an opportunity or a window for like to only solo like the butterfly and then maybe like switch back. Like it's a dynamic fight like that, right? But getting ganked by both of them when one of them flies, all right? One of them flies and shoots projectiles at you and you have no way of like retaliating, sucks. Okay? So, but in terms of overall difficulty, I'm still going to put it up there because it can be a very difficult fight. The Scorpion hits really hard. I'm going to put you at a B, though. I'm going to put you at a B. It's not a balanced fight, but in terms of difficulty, I would say a B. Augur, or whatever your real name is. I can't remember, all right? Some of these names, FromSoft, I'm going to tell you right now, start making your names a little more memorable, okay? I don't get like the Radagons and Radons and Melanias, names that will stick with me for the rest of my life from this game, okay? Some of them, yes, but not all of them. Anyway, the Augur. The first time I fought it, I was like, what is this trash fight? But there is a secret mechanic I didn't know, which makes the fight extremely easy. Two things you got to know to make this fight very easy. The bubble things, the little jellyfish that it spits out, destroy enough of those, and then they send these bubble projectiles that go back and hit the Augur and do massive chunks of damage. Just scrape that health bar down. When it goes into the sleep phase, when it tries to put you to sleep, I hope you're running a character like Wilder or Raider. Get up close to it, cast your ult. Not only for the iframes through the sleep, but you can punish it. That's a punish window. Do those two things, and the fight is, it's cheeks. It's absolute cheeks. You can win that fight, okay? That's not easy to perform every time, but overall, probably the least difficult fight out of all of them. The least difficult fight. And for that reason, you're getting a D. Okay, now, not really my favorite fight. Not really my favorite fight. A very difficult one your first time. Very difficult. Libra. Holy crap. Projectile City. AoE all the time. Dodging Simulator 101 right here. Two different phases, and they both have different movesets, and he goes freaking bananas. Bananas. The fight is pretty enjoyable once you kind of understand some of it, but he is quite difficult. I would say Libra is quite difficult. And there's not a whole lot to say. The madness, everything that hits you can build up madness, so I hope you've been stacking resistances, first of all. Understand that his madness phase, much like Augur's sleep phase, is preventable, but not in the same way. Augurs, you can interrupt it with a powerful attack, or if you happen to break its stance, but like, you know, you don't know where the poison meter is at. This one is quite easy to learn the mechanic of, so that way you don't build up madness. You just start collecting all of the like little gems on the ground, and it reduces your madness buildup quite quickly. The mechanic I don't like in this fight is when he goes into his like meditation shell or whatever. I'm trying to either break the shell or break all the discs that surround him. Some of them are up in the air. Again, if you're not running a long-range character, you might not be able to break all of them. And you don't get a healthy amount of time to do so either. Sometimes you get like 5 seconds or less. Okay? And if he goes into that other phase because you didn't break his bubble, he goes batshit. Batshit crazy. Crazy. Very difficult fight, I think. And I'm going to give you an A. Dark Drift Knight. Or as I would like to call him, Champion Gundyr. What an absolutely vicious fight this is. This is an insane fight. His startup frames for some of his attacks are so fast, they're kind of hard to predict. And for that reason, he doesn't seem to have a big weakness to anything. Trying to inflict status effects on him if you're a melee wielder, or even hit him because he's so fast and runs everywhere, it's not easy. It's not easy at all. I would say he's one of the most difficult fights in Elden Ring NightReign. Plain and simple. For that reason, I'm giving you an S. Caligo, the frost dragon or the ice dragon. Easily one of the best fights in all of NightReign. When I tell you this fight gave me fucking goosebumps. It was so good. The music was good. The design was good. The attack patterns made sense. Everything about this fight was intuitive. The atmosphere. Everything about this fight was on the freaking nose. And the first time I ever fought him was in trios, and we won the first time. So not a very difficult fight. If you don't know what you're doing, the frostbite will literally bite you in the ass, right? What a freaking amazing fight, though. I never had more fun in NightReign than fighting this. Okay? This was an epic fight. It was so good. Dragon fights are usually pretty good. Like, we all know that, especially in Elden Ring. Like, look at Baal, look at Placidusax. Except for ancient dragons, they can all kind of go to hell, right? Senesax, I'm looking at you, right? Fortisax, yeah. But let me tell you, this fight was unbelievable. I was like, dude, this feels like an Elden Ring fight. It did. It felt so good, right? Especially just the atmosphere was so good. I don't know what else I could even say about it. It was so good. Difficulty wise, not super difficult. Okay, not super difficult. Can be. I mean, it could still kill you quite easily. It's not difficult though. It wasn't that difficult. I had a lot of fun though. I don't want to put it on the same level as Gladius, but I kind of have to. We're judging based off pure difficulty. Yes, I think so. Not an overly difficult fight. Well balanced. The moves are telegraphed. God, it was so much fun. And last but not least, I don't remember how to pronounce his name. Holistor, the Shape of Night. Okay. All right. I don't know where to begin. First of all, let's just his first phase. His entire first phase is a classic. I'm going to give you the confidence of thinking that I'm beatable. Very squishy health pool. But he's incredibly fast. He's got like 4 arms and 3 swords. Okay? He is super fast. He glides around the arena like he's doing Michael Jackson's moonwalk on steroids. Just glides. It's not even like taking steps after you, right? One step moves him 50 meters, right? It's quite impressive. First phase basically gives you the confidence to think that you're going to have an easy time. And then second phase rolls around and it gets worse. And what does he do? He splits the sky and opens up an alternate fucking dimension. And then the AoE attacks are some of the most insane things I think I've ever seen. Barring maybe the champion Gundyr here. Unbelievable. Unfreaking believable. In my opinion, a very, very good boss design. I love the atmosphere of this one too. It's not quite as good as the dragon. It's not, you know, I'm not in love with it as much as the dragon. But very cool boss design. This guy is very, very difficult to fight. Not recommended for new Souls players. No. I mean, unless you're just a prodigy and like you can learn the game within like hours and you're just that good. Okay, sure, whatever. But even for Souls veterans, I hate that term in the first place, but people that are experienced in Souls games, this guy is a monster. Rightfully so. He's the final Night Lord, right? They might cook up something worse than him for all I know. Given more time, and here's the thing, you can only practice this guy once every like 30 to 40 minutes because you have to run the knights back. You don't get a chance to like practice this guy and just be like really good at him, right? You don't get a chance to do that. So how much progress you're really going to make on the hardest boss, it's going to take you some time. Because of that, because of your lack of being able to like progress the fight and practice and understand his moves, understand his tells, the startup frames, when to roll, which is why, again, Executor, if you're playing solo, probably the best move against this guy, right? Because you can just parry it. Parry, 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 right? And then punish. Extremely difficult. You're going up there with an S. That's what I'm looking like right now. If you put out Consort Radon and Olistor, I'm sorry, I'm probably butchering his name. If you put out Shape of Night and Consort Radon, it have never been seen by the public before. If you dropped both of those boss fights today, no one's ever played them before, Consort would probably be harder, right? But here's the thing. People have already been playing Consort Radon for like the past year. People know that fight. It's not difficult anymore. It's not difficult anymore for most people, right? People already know the fight. And they can go in there and re-challenge him. They just right at the boss door, go in and then practice the fight and get really good at it. If it was your first time fighting him, I think Consort would be harder.